Hey Foreverlies, it is just Maddie in this video, and today is going to be more of a serious video. If you hadn't noticed, I took a break from YouTube. I did not post for 3 weeks, and that's the longest I had gone without posting in 3 years. In my whole YouTube career, I've been on the platform for 3 years now, which is insane. Maybe less than 3 years. Was it 2 years? Am I almost at 3? Hold on, I'm confusing myself. 2 years. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking 3. That's weird. For some reason, I thought it had been 3 years. But I've been on the platform for 2 years, and this is the longest break I've ever taken. I've had the schedule of posting 3 times a week. I got it about 6 months, possibly less, into my YouTube career, and I had taken little breaks here and there, but never like a planned break where I actually decided I was gonna take a break, stuck with it, and didn't post. I don't know, it was really weird. It felt weird to not have the responsibility of filming and editing and posting, but it was also really nice. Companies actually, they require all of their employees to take vacation. Some of them, at least. Some companies require their employees to take vacation because it helps them work more efficiently. And there are studies showing that you work better at your job after vacation time. And I actually didn't find that out until after my break. I kind of like initiated my break because my mental health was pretty bad, but we'll talk about that in a second. I just kind of felt like I was not exceeding at what I was doing. And I like to excel, I don't know the word. I like to do well at what I'm doing. I like to do everything to the best of my ability. And I definitely was not working to the best of my ability. I was just throwing out videos because I felt like I was obligated to. And I felt like it was my responsibility. And it was my responsibility because I was sticking to my schedule that I had promised y'all I would keep. And I did a pretty good job at sticking to that schedule for a long time. Sometimes I wouldn't upload here and there, and I'd take like maybe a week break, but never 3 weeks. This was definitely a break that was long needed. I kind of just felt like I was running on empty. Like, when I first started YouTube, I was so passionate about the content I was making, and I was just so, I just wanted to put good content out there. But whenever it became more of a responsibility and my mental health got worse and there were more stressors in my life, I just didn't feel like I was working to the best of my ability. I just kind of felt like I was throwing stuff out there because I felt like I had to. And I don't want to feel like I have to. I want to. So that's when I decided to take my break. I didn't know how long I was taking a break. I didn't even post a video about taking a break. That's how bad it was. I just kind of posted on my Instagram story. I don't know if you're watching this. You might follow me on Instagram. You might not. But I ended up just posting on my Instagram story, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm taking a break from YouTube. I hope y'all understand. I'll be back as soon as I can. But I ended up staying off the platform for 3 weeks. The last video I posted was Everly's birthday video. I just made my little comeback. But I kind of wanted to explain everything that happened, why I took a break, how it affected me in a video, because I do like to share my life on here. Like, that's literally the whole point of my channel. I share my life, and I'm unapologetic about it. Like, I'm gonna tell you everything that happens, and I don't care what people are gonna say. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of talk about what happened, what made me want to take a break, how that break affected me, and all of that. So, we're gonna start with Vlogmas. I've done Vlogmas 3 years in a row. This was my 3rd year of Vlogmas. And it had always been a lot for me. Every time I did Vlogmas, it was just draining for me, posting every day, because I don't have an editor. I don't have somebody to video for me. I film and edit by myself. So every day it was just filming and editing back to back. And Vlogmas is really hard when you're doing that and trying to Christmas shop on top of it, dealing with the stress of the holidays. Vlogmas is so hard. I don't know how some people do it so consistently year after year. This year was like my final straw with Vlogmas. Maybe next year I'll come back if I have like an editor and do Vlogmas again, but editing and posting and filming every single day just got a little bit too much for me. So I ended up just not filming and kind of falling into a bit of a depression. I'll be completely honest, the money situation is a lot different because of COVID. So the holidays were a struggle. Like, I was waiting until I got paid to go Christmas shopping. I was trying to save money. I was trying to not buy tons of stuff and spend tons of money, but still give Everly a good Christmas. It was really stressful, and the holidays can be so stressful when you're a parent and you're having to spend all your money on Christmas. Christmas is so expensive, and then Everly's birthday is literally 10 days after Christmas, so I had to prepare for her birthday too, and I'm trying to save up for taxes, I'm trying to save up for a house. Just the money issues were hitting. They always hit around Christmas time for some reason. I think it's the whole buying presents for 8 people. But yeah, Christmas gets so expensive in my family because I have 4 younger siblings, a daughter, and 3 parents, stepdad, dad, and mom. And I also have grandparents and extended family. We didn't see them on Christmas, but I still got a few of them presents. It was a stressful time because you take the cost of one person buying their presents and multiply it by 8 in my family. Like, it's crazy. And I'm not like obligated to buy them presents, you know, they'd be fine without them, but I really like to spoil people during Christmas. Like, that's the holiday spirit for me, buying my family presents. But that was pretty stressful, just juggling everything. It just felt like there were so many things on my plate, especially with Vlogmas, and I did fall into a depression. Super fun. One of the things that actually caused this was a medication I had been on for 5 years. So I've been taking Wellbutrin, or I was taking Wellbutrin for 5 years. I was prescribed it when I was 13, and I'm almost 18. So I started getting really dizzy every day. Like, during Vlogmas, I kind of talked about, like, there were 2 videos talking about how I felt like I was gonna pass out. Like, I would just be in the grocery store and just get this wave of just, like, dizziness, lightheadedness. My vision would be weird, and I had had 20/20 vision my entire life until I started this medicine. Until, like, a year ago, it started making some weird effects. And my vision, like, I have astigmatism, and I have prescribed glasses, but it turns out it was just my medicine making my vision weird. My friend had actually had seizures on this medicine, and I was like telling her, like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on, like, I think it's this medicine because I looked it up, it can cause vision changes, dizziness, and this just now started, and I'd been on it for 5 years, I don't know what the heck is happening. And she's like, oh yeah, I took that medicine, I had a seizure in the middle of school. I'm like, cool, great to hear that. But I ended up talking to my doctor, and he gave me the get-go to start weaning myself off of it. I had actually stopped taking it by myself to just see how it felt, and I didn't have the dizziness when I wasn't taking it. But it did cause some pretty severe mental withdrawals. I would have mania, depression, not severe mania, but I'd have like bouts of mania throughout the day, and depression was the worst one for me with the withdrawals from this medicine. Whenever I first stopped taking it, cold turkey, I cried and had a panic attack every day for a week. I would just cry over the littlest things, and I would just be so upset. I would just be in my room sulking. I couldn't clean my room. My room ended up getting so messy, because you guys know, like, one thing about depression is that your room gets messy. A depression room. Like, so many people, like, they see my room in videos, they're like, oh my god, her room's a mess, what a terrible mom. Like, no, I'm depressed. I'm trying to take care of myself, which I can barely do when I'm depressed, and take care of a kid. Like, my room's not gonna be clean when I'm depressed. So, the dizziness stopped, and I was just really depressed. And I ended up getting past the withdrawals. I took it a few times, like just a mini dose, like I broke it into a quarter and just took a little bit of it just to get rid of the withdrawals, and I would be super dizzy for the whole day. It was horrible. It even affected my driving. Like, I would drive and my eyes would just go like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it made my vision really weird. My friend said she got, another friend said, or my sister's online friend said she had vertigo from it. So I'm starting to think that could have been it. I'm not sure. I never got like the proper diagnosis. I was just told to get off of it, not take it again. So I stopped it, and I ended up calling a psychiatrist nearby. The psychiatrist I'd been going to since I was 13 is kind of far away, and they don't answer their phone. I'll call needing an appointment because I'm in a bad mental state, and they just don't answer. And whenever I do schedule an appointment, they have to schedule me 2 months out, and they're always switching my psychiatrist to a different person, so I have to do the whole, oh, hi, my name's Maddie, no, I don't have thoughts of hurting myself or others, like, all that stuff. If you know, you know. But it was just starting to make me mad, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find another psychiatrist. So what I do is I find a psychiatrist in the rich area that's like kind of near me. I find one that serves the rich people, because I'm like, you know what, maybe since they have all these high profile like rich clients coming in, they'll get me in. And they did. They got me an appointment within a week, which I had never ever seen for a new patient, even at like doctor's offices. I had never seen someone be able to get me in that fast for an appointment for a new patient. It was amazing. I actually missed my first appointment. I was out Christmas shopping, and the alarm went off on my phone that was telling me I needed to get on my telehealth appointment, and I was just like, oh my god, I missed my appointment. So I ended up calling back. I'm like, hey, I need to reschedule. I'm so sorry. So I ended up getting rescheduled. They had to schedule me 2 weeks out this time. I think they were just kind of mad that I missed my first appointment. Like, I would be too. But I was just like, this was when I wasn't posting, and I was just in a really bad place mentally. I didn't really go anywhere. I didn't really get out of bed. All I really did was take care of Everly, and I had my family's help to kind of like help get her out and play, and I would still take her out to play and play with her, but I just had no motivation. I honestly, like, it was so bad that I didn't brush my teeth the whole time. I only showered a few times, and I know that's disgusting, but that's what depression will do to you. It'll make you not even take care of yourself. I didn't wear makeup, I binge ate, and I just kind of like, I was just in a really bad place, like the worst place I had been since, God, for a long time. That was like the worst place I'd been in a long time. So I ended up having this appointment with my psychiatrist. My new psychiatrist. He's so funny too. Like, I could actually talk to him. I didn't feel like I was being judged. It was great. But I talked to him, and I like tell him everything that's going on. I'm like, yeah, I've been on medicine for bipolar before because it runs in my family, and it just made me gain weight, and it just wasn't that great. I didn't like it. So I stopped that one, and he asked me tons of questions just about how I feel. I'm like, well, I've had anxiety and depression my whole life, and I also feel like this and this and this, and my OCD and my trichotillomania and my emetophobia, blah blah blah, I'm so mentally ill. But I told him everything that was going on, and he's like, well, it sounds like to me that it's ADHD causing these symptoms for you. And I'm like, what? No way. Because I was diagnosed with ADHD in 3rd grade, possibly 4th grade, and I had taken medication for it, but it just turned me into a zombie. And I never really went back to another medication. So I tried to get on another medicine for ADHD recently, and it made me feel so weird. And I just hated the way it made me feel. So I told him every medicine I'd been on, and I told him how it made me feel. He's like, well, there's really 2 choices. It's Adderall, or I think it's Vyvanse, and those are the 2 main ADHD medicines. He's like, well, there's Adderall or Vyvanse, and those are like the main medicines that you can take for ADHD. I'm like, oh my god, Adderall? Like, that sounds scary. People misuse that. Like, that's what people post on their stories, like, who got Addy? So I was like, that kind of scares me. And he's like, well, since you actually have ADHD, it's not gonna do anything to you. Like, it's not gonna make you feel weird. So he prescribed me Adderall, and I took it. The first day, I was just sitting in bed editing, and I just started crying. Like, not a sad cry, but a happy cry. Like, such a happy cry, because usually when I'm editing, I have so many thoughts just chasing each other away, and just like, just so many thoughts just conflicting each other and fighting each other, and I just can't hear myself think over all these thoughts racing through my brain. And it was just so normal to me, because that's how I had always felt, and I thought that was just anxiety. And anxiety does go hand in hand with ADHD. Like, he was explaining to me, I'm like, I thought I had anxiety. He's like, well, they go hand in hand. It sounds like ADHD is the mother thing that's causing all your other symptoms. So I'm like, okay. But I just started crying because I could hear myself think clearly, and I could stay focused on a single thought. I could edit without being distracted. I could focus, and I could hear myself think, and I could do one task at a time. I didn't start 100 little projects and not finish any of them. I cleaned my room. I haven't been able to clean my room by myself without freaking out in so long. Like, I know it sounds so bad coming from a mom, but I'll get down to clean my room, and in front of me I'll just see a million different things, and I don't know where to start, so I start on one thing after another and do a little bit of everything and just end up with a messy room again. But I was able to actually clean my room. I know that just sounds so insane, but I could clean my room. I went, and the first day I was on it, I took a shower. I shaved my legs. I never shaved my legs. I could never focus on it. I did self-care stuff. I brushed my teeth, and I know that's like so weird to say, oh my god, I brushed my teeth, but whenever I'm depressed, like, I don't brush my teeth. I'll be completely honest. I don't brush my teeth when I'm depressed, but I went and showered, and I brushed my teeth, and I shaved my legs, and washed my hair good, and not just like a quick wash, and I cleaned my room, and I posted a video, and it was just insane. Like, because usually when I take a medicine, it's like, it takes a few months to kind of realize if it's gonna work or not. And I usually have to go through all those crazy symptoms like the extreme tiredness, mania, depression, so many things, extreme hunger, loss of appetite. But I took this medicine, and on the first day I noticed a change. And I'm not saying go get Adderall, because like, that's for severe ADHD. It's not something you want to be prescribed. Like, it can actually harm your brain paths. But for me, it was either like living life in suffering and not being able to do simple tasks, or getting on a stronger medicine. So I'm on that now, and it's been 3-4 days now, and I've already noticed such a huge change in my life. With my motivation, even my mood. I've been so much happier now that I can actually focus on things. I've been able to sit down and play with Everly and not get super distracted and just like feel like I need to go do something else, or just, gosh, it's been amazing. And I'm so happy that I found something that works for me, because I've tried so many different medicines, and it, like, none of them have done what this has done for me in just a few days. So I'm really thankful. But I also wanted to talk about, I didn't think my ADHD was causing my symptoms, because I told him, I'm like, well, I have so many things to do all the time, and it just stresses me out, and I just end up not doing anything and just sitting in bed and getting even more stressed out because I have all these things to do, and I don't do them, but it stresses me out to do them or think about them. And I also told him, I'm like, I was diagnosed with bipolar, and I was on medication for it, but it didn't really work for me. And he's like, okay, well, tell me how you feel when you feel bipolar or manic. And I told him, explained to him, and he's like, okay, what about depression, and how long do you feel like this whenever you feel manic? I'm like, well, it's usually just like, it had lasted longer in the past, but for me, it's usually in a day I'll just feel, I'm not gonna say manic anymore because I'm not too sure if I have bipolar even, but ADHD for sure. I'm like telling him how I'll be in my room and I'll have something to do, and I'll just feel so down and so horrible and just depressed, and then the second I get something interesting to do, like go to the store or go hang out with a friend or go, I don't even know, do anything interesting that's something that makes me happy, the second that happens, I'll snap out of the depression instantly. Like, I won't feel depressed as soon as something makes me happy. Like, if a friend calls me and is like, hey, you want to go grab some food? And I had been in bed all day crying, feeling horrible, and just not being able to take myself out of bed to brush my teeth. As soon as a friend calls me, I'll instantly have a switch like this. Like, it'll go from extremely sad to extremely happy. And I told him that I can't really feel an in-between. And it's really hard for me to feel in between happy and sad. It's either super happy or super sad. And it's hard for me to find that happy medium of just normal. And I thought that was going to be a mood disorder because mood disorders run in my family. And I'd been diagnosed with bipolar before. He told me, he's like, well, that sounds like ADHD, severe ADHD. And I'm like, what? Because when you think of ADHD, you think of like, you can't focus or you're hyperactive. And I never really thought that it could cause those extreme highs and lows. So I was just really like confused, and I had also learned something new. I didn't know it could affect me like that. Like, I genuinely didn't know ADHD could cause these highs and lows that caused me to be diagnosed with a mood disorder. And I was like, well, what about anxiety and depression? Because I struggle with those too. And he said the ADHD being this bad can cause those things. They kind of go hand in hand. But in order to treat those, the ADHD has to be treated to get help with those. And at first I was just like, okay, well, I'm really shocked right now, but I guess I'm gonna try this. And he was super intelligent too, and I'd had psychiatrists in the past just prescribe me like 3 medicines at once and say, all right, hope you feel better. But he put me on one medicine. He told me how the dosages can affect me. He started me on a low dose. He said, if you feel like you need more, heighten it, but if you heighten it and you feel like you need less, lower it. So I was really like shocked that that ADHD could be causing all of these things for me, because I didn't think that's what it was. Like, I genuinely didn't think that's what it was. But I took the medicine, and evidently that's what had been causing all the things. So I'm on Adderall now, and it's kind of, I love it, but it also scares me because people abuse it. Knowing that people like sell it and abuse it on the streets kind of scares me, but since I do actually have ADHD, it doesn't like do the things that it would do to somebody who doesn't have ADHD when they abuse it. So that makes me feel better, but I was still just like kind of shocked, like, oh, I'm taking this? Oh, people sell this, you know? Like, I was kind of scared. Okay, next chapter, stop the rant about the medication. My break. Let's talk about that. I hadn't taken a break officially in a long time. I think it was, has it been 3 years? It's almost been 3 years. It'll be 3 years in May, I believe. Yeah. But having not taken a break in so long, like an official break to just kind of like let my soul renew and kind of recharge my brain, it was really weird to not have this responsibility, and I kind of like felt like a dark cloud kind of like left my brain, and I felt a lot lighter, and I just kind of felt like all these things that I was so stressed out about, views, posting, getting sponsorships, finding video ideas, possibly traveling in the future, and collaborations, just all these things that I was always so focused on kind of like lifted off of me. Like, there was just 1,000 pounds on my chest, and it just kind of lifted off of me. Since 2020, just in general, the whole year, I struggled with finding the passion to post. And I just wasn't passionate about what I was doing, and that's something that bothered me so much, because me as a person, I cannot put my full heart into something unless I am so passionate about it. And I kind of regained that passion by taking a break and letting myself think and just letting myself just be a teenager, you know? Because I never got to be a normal teenager. Not one day in my life. I was 13 and I got pregnant at 14. Like, as soon as I turned 14, I got pregnant. So I got 1 year of teenager out of me. And I was in 8th grade. So I don't know if that really counts. I never got to go to high school. I never got to do any teenager things. I never got to just like sit in bed all day and play video games with my friends. I never got to really go party every night, which I'm not doing because there's a pandemic. But I never got to do normal teenager things. I've had to worry about hospital bills, attorney bills, visitation, shared custody, taking care of my daughter, taking her to the doctor, my job, taxes, and I started worrying about these things at like 15, 16, 14, 17, I'm almost 18 now, and I've been worrying about all these adult things for so long. So I kind of told myself, I'm not going to worry about any of these things. Just for these 3 weeks that I'm off, I'm not going to worry about any of these things. I'm just going to have no responsibilities for a while and just kind of let myself recharge, get all this stress that's just balls up in my chest and just let it go. And I did. And obviously I did struggle with my mental health during the break, but it's a lot better now that I took my break. And I actually genuinely, like, whenever during Vlogmas, I genuinely thought about quitting YouTube. I didn't want to ever have to post or edit another video because I was just so stressed out. And it was just such a burden to me at the time. Something that I was so passionate about became a burden just because of the stress from it. And just the standard that I held myself at. I just held myself at way too high of a standard. And I just wanted to never show my face on the platform again, genuinely. But after my break, I still talk to y'all on Instagram. Like, I'm really interactive on Instagram. That's the platform that I use the most to interact with people who follow me. I was just getting so many, like, people saying, hey, take your time, like, we understand. Take as much time as you need. And there were some people like, why aren't you posting? Why aren't you posting? When are you gonna post a video? Like, we miss you, come back. And other people were just like, take as much time as you need. I hope everything's okay. I'm gonna keep you in my prayers. And the people who told me, take as much time as you need, it's gonna be okay, that's what made me want to come back. And also the people who are saying, when are you gonna post? Like, we miss you posting. I'm not, like, upset about that at all. Like, I'm glad that people actually watch my videos and miss them. But just hearing somebody say, it's okay if you take a break, like, we understand, that just made me feel so good. It just made me so happy. And it just really, like, helped reignite the passion for YouTube. And just kind of, like, even I got added to a little mommy group chat and talking to the moms, and just, like, they also do social media and just them talking about it. It just, like, it also helped kind of reignite that passion and just realizing that I'm literally doing what I've dreamed of my whole life. Like, I had always dreamed of, like, starting a YouTube channel. Like, if you know, you know, Maddie's Makeup 88. I had always dreamed of starting a YouTube channel, but once I started it and it became a responsibility, it was a burden. I'll be completely honest, like, just the responsibility was just so dreading because I couldn't bring myself to do anything, and it just felt like such a chore. But after I took that break and I kind of realized, like, what I have and how thankful I should be for what I have, it really helped reignite that spark and kind of make me more dedicated to what I'm doing and more thankful for what I'm doing. Because, I mean, I've basically grown up doing this. I know it sounds crazy because, like, I'm a whole mom, but I've done this, I've been on this platform from when I was 15 to maybe 14 even. Was I 14? No, I was 15. I just turned 15 when I started my channel. And now I'm almost 18. And between the years of 15 and 18, you do a lot of growing. Like, I was even watching my old videos, and I am such a different person than I was then. In ways that I think are better, and ways that I think are worse. Like, I've gone through so much growth, and I grew with just knowing, having this platform, posting videos, and being so fortunate and blessed to be able to not have to go to work and just have to create videos. I've been so fortunate to have that, and I kind of grew up with it, so I didn't really know how much that meant. And I became kind of naive in a sense. I just kind of, like, felt like, oh, this is such a chore, I have to freaking post and edit a video, I can't go do this and this. Card ran out of storage. Some things never change. But it's really not a chore. It's a privilege to be able to stay home with my daughter while providing for her. It's such a privilege to be able to do that, especially as a single mom. And I know I just needed to find that thankfulness again, because this opportunity is literally, in my opinion, like once in a lifetime for me. Like literally once in a lifetime opportunity for me to be able to have this platform and speak out about my passions and truths and story. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I need to be a lot more thankful for what I have. And I've kind of grown enough to realize that I need to be more thankful for what I have. And whenever I'm in a bad place mentally, I think it's okay for me to take a break and kind of give myself some slack. But I do not think it's okay for me to kind of feel like I just have to throw out content that's not good just to put out content. I don't think that's okay, and I never want to have to do that again. And I don't think I'll ever let myself do that again. I'm only going to put something out if I work hard on it and I put my heart and soul into it, not just a random vlog that I throw together in 30 minutes. I want to put out good content because I earned this platform by starting out with good content, and I worked really hard on my content. And I'm kind of just like throwing it away by posting stuff that I don't work hard on and I don't put my heart into and that I'm not passionate about. And I'm so resentful for myself for even doing that and just taking advantage of what I have by just putting out stuff that doesn't even really matter. So I'm holding myself to this. I may not post 3 times a week anymore because that can be really overwhelming, especially having to edit all the videos myself. I may not be posting 3 times a week, but whenever I put out content from here on out, I can promise you that it's not just something I'm throwing together. It's something that I'm working hard on. It's something that I want to post, and I want to post. I'm not going to be posting when I don't want to anymore. I'm probably going to do 2 videos a week. 3 was too much. Probably Monday and Thursdays. I'll eventually go back to 3, but right now I'm just trying to ease into it and just make it where I don't lose that passion again, because I never want to lose that passion again. I'm so fortunate for what I have, and I need to teach myself to be more thankful. But I'm just really fortunate that I can realize my mistakes and try to grow from them. I think everyone should try to do that, kind of acknowledge that they are human and they make mistakes and their judgment may not always be the best, and try to grow from what you can teach yourself, in a way. Does that make sense? It makes sense, okay? But yeah, I'm so glad to be back and have this passion back and be able to have a medication that makes it where I can actually focus on one task at once and have the right diagnosis for once. It's just really great, and I'm so thankful. So 2021, it's going to be the year for growth. It's going to be a year for dedication. It's not going to be a year for laziness for me. It's going to be a year for me to love what I do and work hard at what I do, and not just be lazy about it. Not just throw out content that nobody wants to watch. I'm going to put out things that people want to watch and that I'm passionate about. So 2021 is a year for growth, and I hope that my channel can reflect that. But that's gonna be it for this video. I know this was a long video, but it was a long period of time for me. 3 weeks was a while without posting for me, and it was a lot to explain. I probably didn't even get to explain all of it, but thank you guys for working with me through this little break. Now that I'm back, I'm better than ever, and I am so glad that I finally just put down my pride and let myself have some time. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I know y'all are going to enjoy the next videos because I am going to work hard on them and I'm going to put out some good content. So cringy. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye guys.